In this video, I just want to share with you what the practice of yoga is to me and what I kind of wish somebody had shared with me when I was at the very beginning of my yoga practice. Because, of course, it's very daunting with all of the different styles of yoga out there and all of the things to choose from that are considered yoga. Where do you even begin? But really, what it all comes down to is unity, connection. And so what we're going to focus on in this class is just connecting our breath to our movements, and maybe also paying attention to what thoughts, what emotions, what feelings arise. But no matter what happens, just keep breathing in a very slow, steady, and mindful way. So we can begin that right now. Perhaps even close your eyes and take a deep, big breath in through your nose, filling your lungs up. And then let it all go. It can be out the nose or out the mouth. Now, don't you feel more relaxed already? Hopefully you feel straight away, just with that one inhale and exhale, a little bit more centered and present right here, right now. And remember that you've always got that breath wherever you go in life, whether you're on a yoga mat or not. So place one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. Take another deep breath in through the nose. Do so in a way that you feel both your chest and your belly expand, and exhale back out. Once more, big breath in. Try and fill up through the belly and the chest, and exhale out. See, simple, you're practicing yoga. Let's add some movements into that now. So come onto hands and knees, facing the short side of your yoga mat. Look down at your hands and have the fingers spread so they're not too wide, but not stuck together either. Look back at your knees and see if they're more or less underneath your hips. If this feels like a lot on your wrists, you can just step your hands forward a little bit. Press your fingertips into the mat, but in a way that you keep the knuckles of the hand grounded as well. Take an inhale and lift the top of your head and your tailbone up towards the ceiling, allowing your belly to drop towards the floor. Exhale here, but just hold it. I want you to imagine your shoulder blades now and see if you can bring your shoulder blades a little bit towards each other, squeezing your shoulder blades in your back area. Lift your tailbone a little higher. Lift your chin a little higher. Keep breathing here. Notice the expansion of your belly and the ribs. Notice how it feels different to breathe when you're in this back bending shape. But knowing that you can still breathe just fine. Perhaps going a little bit deeper into this posture, or maybe not. You don't have to ever go to any particular depth in a posture, just where it feels right for you. Good. On your next exhale, we're going to come back through neutral. Then tilt your tailbone down towards the floor and look back towards your feet underneath you. Lift your belly and your chest away from the mat. Imagine your shoulder blades spreading wide across your back. And see if you can actually push the middle of your upper back through the space between your shoulder blades. And keep breathing here. Big inhale into the belly. Big exhale out. Again, just noticing what it feels like to breathe here in this rounded spine shape. Inhale, always through the nose as much as possible, and exhale. Good, on your next inhale, we're going to go back into our back bend. So lift the top of the head and the tailbone up towards the ceiling. This is our cow pose. Exhale, look back towards your feet, lower your tailbone down towards your knees, lift the spine up towards the ceiling. This is your cat pose, like an angry cat. Inhale, back to your cow, arch the spine, lift the head and the tailbone. Exhale, back to cat, round through the spine, lower the tailbone. One more time. Inhale to your cow. Squeeze the shoulder blades together behind you. Exhale, spread the shoulder blades wide, lift the chest, lower the tail. Good. Inhale, come back through a neutral position, just come back where you started, and tuck the toes under behind you. Press your weight a little bit forward towards your hands, and back again. Press your hips back towards your heels. Lean forward towards your hands, let your shoulders go forward, and press it back. One more time. Breathe in, through the nose and breathe out through the nose. Good. When you're back here with your hips on your heels, start to press into your hands and into your feet. Lift your knees up. Keep your knees bent and keep your shoulders open. So imagine you're trying to keep your chest as close towards your thighs as you can. Keep bending in the knees. Press your shoulders up towards your ears. See if you can get your shoulders to touch your earlobes. And imagine that you want to get your armpits to face each other. So you should be feeling a good bit of engagement through the shoulders, so your shoulder muscles working. Make sure that your fingers are still pressing down into the mat and the knuckles of the hands are still pressing down. So it's getting a little bit harder as I give you all these different things to think about, and that's okay. This is all part of the journey. Now, if it feels comfortable, with the knees still bent, you can begin to press maybe one heel at a time down towards the mat, so stretching out the calves, back at the shins. But make sure that this doesn't happen because the feet are collapsing inward, so keep the ankles on top of the feet, the inner arches of the feet lifted up. Now, if you're super tight in the hamstrings, you'll want to keep your knees bent, but some of us are really flexible and you can begin to straighten the knees as well. Just don't lose that open shoulder. So if you're rocking forward with your shoulders, keep pressing your chest back towards your thighs. And begin with the knees straight or bent, walking the feet all the way up towards your hands. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Shift your weight all the way into your feet so you can lift your hands up off the mat. And just hang out here for a second. I want you to just make sure that the toes are spread nice and wide and you're lifting up to the inner arches. Now imagine you're squeezing your glutes. Maybe you do actually squeeze your glutes, but we always can begin just imagining something, visualizing it, doing it in the mind first, and rise all the way up to come to stand up. Bring your arms down by your side, roll the shoulders down and back. Draw your chin down and back, as if you're giving yourself a little bit of a double chin. Take a deep breath in, maybe with your hands on your belly so you can feel the lungs expanding downwards as you breathe in and exhale back out. Good. Inhale, reach your arms up, press your shoulders up towards your ears, look up towards your fingers. As you exhale, just fold at your hips, lowering your hands all the way back down to the mat. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Inhale, bring your hands to your shins. Press your hands into your shins to lengthen your chest so that it's parallel to the floor. Now we'll hang out here, just take a few breaths here. Can you bring all of your weight off of your hands so you're holding your body up, your torso parallel to the floor, just like this. And this may feel really challenging for you. If you want to make it a little bit harder, you can extend the arms straight up overhead. Either way, we're going to take one inhale here and exhale. Just lower everything back down to our forward fold. Knees can be bent. Shift your weight into your right foot and step the left foot all the way to the back of the mat. Lower your left knee down nice and softly and rise up so you're in this kneeling position. Bring your hands to your hips. Push your hips back so that your hips are in line over the left knee. Now I want you to squeeze your glutes and keep your hands on your hips. Try not to move your hips as you simply push the whole body forward towards the right knee. Push it back and forwards, back and forwards. Now the tendency is to let the hips tilt in this way so we get a back bend. There's nothing wrong with that, but what I want you to do is to feel a nice stretch through the front of the left thigh, keeping the left glute, the booty muscle, nice and active. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, bring them down either side of the right foot so that your hands are underneath your shoulders. Lift the left knee up. Now this is the hardest thing that we do in yoga. I want you to press your chest out away from the mat as much as you can. Create as much space underneath you. Hips come up so that you can pick your right foot up and bring it all the way to the back of the mat to meet the left pull. It's so hard. Now you're in a plank pose. Squeeze your glutes. Keep protracting your shoulders, so pressing your shoulders away from each other. Lower the knees down. Take an inhale here. Exhale, lower all the way down to the mat by bending the elbows straight back behind you. Point your toes so the tops of the feet come to the mat. And just inhale, lift up the chest and the shoulders and the head. So your rib cage is still down on the mat. Your hips are still down on the mat. And maybe you can even pick your hands up off the mat. Lower back down. Relax. Inhale, lift it back up again, the chest, the shoulders, and the head. And lower back down as you exhale. Inhale, lift it up. And exhale, lower. Nice and easy. Good. Bring your hands underneath your elbows. Tuck the toes under behind you. Press into your hands to lift your whole body up. Shift your hips back over your heels and lift the knees up. Press the shoulders back towards the thighs, back into our downward facing dog, just like we were in before. So press the shoulders up towards the ears. Cinch your rib cage in. Keep your fingers and hands gripping into the mat. Lots of things happening, lots of things to think about. And slowly walk your feet all the way to the front of the mat. As you do this, bend your knees. See if you can allow some of the weight to come into your hands as you walk forward instead of keeping it all the way back at your feet. Once your feet are at the top, shift your weight back into your feet. Spread the toes nice and wide. Lift the inner arches of the feet. Walk your hands up your shins and lift your chest parallel to the floor. See if you can lengthen your tailbone and the top of your head away from each other. Find a nice and long spine. You can stay here. Maybe have your hands on your hips, or if you want to intensify it, reach your arms up overhead. Squeeze your booty and lift all the way up to stand. Reach the hands high towards the ceiling. Look up. Take a big inhale. Exhale all the way back down. Bend the knees if you need to. Lower your hands down to the floor. Drop the head down. Inhale, come up halfway once again. This is Ardha Uttanasana. Bring your hands to your shins or hands to the hips, or to intensify it, hands straight up overhead. Lower the hands back down. This time shift your weight into the left foot and extend the right foot to the back of the mat all the way down. Lower the right knee down. Reach the arms up and shift your hips back so that your weight is again on that right knee. Bring your hands to your hips, squeeze your right butt, and press your hips forward without letting your hips actually move. So move it back again and move it forwards. The right booty muscles should be really active here. Move it back and move it forwards. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, lower the hands down to either side of the left foot. Lift the right knee up. Now press your whole body away from the floor like you're trying to create as much space as you can. And then, this is the hardest thing. Slide that left foot back all the way to meet the right, back behind you in your plank pose. So press the shoulder blades wide away from each other across your back. Squeeze the glutes. Lower the knees down. Take an inhale here. Exhale. Lower all the way down. Bend your elbows straight behind you. Inhale. Lift the chest and the shoulders and the head. Bring the tops of the feet to the mat. Press the tops of the feet down into the mat. Squeeze your glutes. Lower everything back down. Inhale, lift up the chest, the shoulders, the head. Your hands can help you, or maybe you do it hands free. Lower back down. One more time. Inhale. Lift up the chest, the shoulders, and the head. Your whole back body is working to do this. Exhale. Lower down. Slide your hands back so they're under your wrists. Tuck the toes under. Press into your hands to lift your body up. Press your hips back over your heels. Then lift your knees up. Keep your chest back towards your thighs. Keep pressing your shoulders up towards your ears. Grip the mat with your hands and fingers. Lower the heels down as much as it's possible, as much as it feels good for you. And finally, the knees straighten at the last, once all of those other things fall into place. But honestly, I really love doing downward facing dog with my knees bent, so I can feel an openness through my chest and my shoulders and my calves, and not have to worry about my hamstrings. Very often hamstrings are tight because the calves or the back are actually really tight. And so we don't always have to stretch the hamstrings. All right, we're going to keep the weight forward towards the hands as we walk forwards with the feet all the way back up to the front of the mat. Keep your feet hip width distance. Spread your toes nice and wide. Shift your weight back into your feet as you lift up to the inner arches. Walk your hands up towards your shins until your torso is parallel to the mat. Take an inhale here. Exhale. Just notice what it feels like to breathe here. Again, you can bring your hands to your hips or reach your arms overhead or keep them on your shins. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, bring your hands back down to your side. Close your eyes and take one of those big, restful, relaxing inhales into the belly through the nose. And exhale out. Good. Let's do that again and add in some extra things. So inhale, reach the arms up overhead, look up. Squeeze your glutes. Keep your glutes squeezed as you fold at the hips all the way down. Inhale, lift your torso parallel to the floor with your hands on your shins, hips, or straight overhead. Exhale, just bring it back down. Shift your weight into your right foot. Extend the left foot all the way to the back of the mat. Lower the left knee down. Reach the arms up. Shift your hips back over the left knee. Bring your hands to your hips. Keep the hips, the pelvis in the alignment that it's in. Squeeze your left glute as you progress the hips forward. And you can stay here or with the arms overhead or at your hips. You may want to lift that left knee up off the mat. Keep it bent if you need to. Take an inhale. As you exhale, lower your left hand down to the inside of your right foot and keep your right arm lifted. Twist your chest around towards the right. Take an inhale. As you exhale, just shuffle your right foot over towards the edge of your mat to make space for your right hand on the inside of that right foot. You can keep the left knee lifted or lower the left knee down just to make it a little bit easier. Press the hips forward now towards your right heel. Keep the left glute nice and active. You can stay here, or it might feel nice to let your right knee go out to the side, to the right side, and come onto the edge of the right foot. And breathe here. Again, just notice what it feels like to breathe in this position. What spaces can you breathe into? Where can you perhaps bring a little bit more ease to where it feels effortful? You can always, of course, bring more effort to where it feels easy if you want a challenge. And this is the beautiful thing about yoga, is that you can always just kind of make it your own practice. For example, if you want to wiggle around here and not stay still, you can do that. All right, so from here, with the left toes tucked under, we're just going to shift our hips back so that they're once again stacked over the left knee. Now this is a little bit challenging. You're going to use your abdominal muscles to do it. So think about that cat shape that we went into right at the beginning. So lift up your back towards the ceiling to pick up your right foot, super hard and now, and extend it straight back behind you. Bend the right knee. Now we'll go into our cow pose, but with this one leg added into it. So lift the right toes up towards the ceiling as you lift your head up as well. As you exhale, we're going to round through the spine towards that cat shape and draw the right knee towards your chin and look back with your head. Inhale, lift the right leg all the way back up and lift your head up. Exhale, round through the spine, draw the knee and chin towards each other underneath you. Press your body away from the mat. One more time. Inhale, open up through the front body, and exhale, open up through the back body. Good. Lower the right knee down, tuck both toes under. Shift your hips back over your heels and lift the knees up. Keeping the knees bent, same as before, as we push the chest and shoulders back towards the thighs into our downward facing dog. Slowly walk the feet all the way back up to the front of the mat. Maybe you're feeling a little bit braver about keeping your weight forward over your hands. Then shift your weight back into your feet. Bring your hands to your hips to rise all the way up. Use your glutes to get you there. Good, reach your arms up overhead. Inhale. Exhale, fold all the way back down. Inhale, come up halfway. Bring your hands to your shins, your hips, or straight overhead. Exhale, rest it down. Bend the knees if you need to. Inhale, step the right foot to the back of the mat. Lower the right knee down. And reach the arms up as you shift your hips back over the right knee. Bring your hands to your hips, just so you can pay attention to the hips. Not moving, try and get that tailbone tucked under as you then press your hips forward towards the left foot. Bring it back and forward. Keep the right glute super active. Press it back and forward. You can always just reach back there and poke yourself. If you're like, is my big muscle working or not? I don't know. Just poke it. It's good to have that feedback sometimes from our hands. Good. You can have your hands on your hips, reach them over overhead, and if you're up for it, lift that right knee up. Maybe the knee doesn't straighten all the way, especially if you're starting to, if the pelvis tilts forward in a way that gives you a bit of pain in the low back, then just keep that right knee bent. Take an inhale here. Exhale, lower the right hand down to the inside of the left foot. Extend the left arm straight up towards the ceiling. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, lower the left hand down to the inside of the left foot. Just shuffle that left foot over. So, same as before, you can keep your right knee lifted, or if you want to just chill out a bit, lower the right knee down. Stay here, or let the left knee fall out to the side. Come onto the outside edge of the left foot. And just close your eyes perhaps, just feel in your body, what does this feel like? And this is all it takes to practice yoga, is just to be mindful and be in this present moment. Just to pay attention to what it means to be living in this moment right here, right now. What does it mean to be you? What thoughts are going through your head? What emotions are you feeling? Can you detach yourself from those instead of letting them be a label that you identify yourself with? Can you recognize that they are merely thoughts and feelings and nothing else, and that does not define you? Good. We'll shift the hips back over the right knee. Think about that cat shape, so round your spine. Lift your abdominals up away from the mat. Lift your chest away from the mat. Press into your hands. See if you can pick that left foot up. Whoa. And then bring it straight back behind you. Bend the left knee. Then lift the left toes up towards the ceiling, along with your head. Inhale here. Exhale, round through the spine and draw the left knee and the chin towards each other underneath you. Really press yourself away from the mat as much as you can. Inhale, open all the way back up. Lift the left toes and the top of the head towards the ceiling, towards each other. And exhale, round through the spine. Really press yourself away from the mat. Create as much space underneath you for your leg as you can. Inhale once more. Arch through the back. Lift the head and the foot towards each other. Your left glute should be working here. Round once more. Knee to chin and chin to knee. Then lower the left knee back down with the toes tucked under. Press your hips back. Lift the knees up. Keep the chest pressing back towards the thighs. Into your downward facing dog. We're going to walk our feet all the way up towards our hands. Maybe you rock your weight into your hands a little bit as you go. Bend the knees, lower your hips, down, 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 all the way down until you can sit down on the mat. Send your legs straight out in front of you. Press the heels down and lift the toes up towards the ceiling. See if you can straighten yourself up nice and tall. If this just feels impossible, then by all means bend your knees. That's also cool. Take a few deep breaths here. Just fill your lungs up. Allow your belly to expand out as you inhale. Notice how it feels to be in your body right here, right now. Good. One more big inhale. Exhale out. Good. Pull your right knee in towards your chest with the right foot flat on the floor. Reach your right arm up. Twist to the right to lower your right hand down behind you. Inhale, lift the left arm up. Stretch nice and long. Exhale, just hug your right knee with your left arm to help twist you a little bit deeper. Go as far as it feels good. Just a few breaths here in this twist. Good. As you exhale, come back to center. Just twist around to the left now. Give yourself a little counter twist. And we're going to twist to the right one more time with the right hand behind you. Inhale the left arm up. Bend the left elbow, so it's about a 90-degree angle, and then press it. Adjust the right foot if you need to. Press the left elbow onto the inside of the right knee. Now press the knee and the elbow into each other as you twist. So you should be feeling like your right inner thigh working and your left shoulder working as they press against each other. And keep breathing through this slightly effortful position. One more big breath in. Exhale, release back to center. Extend your right leg straight, bend the left knee. Inhale the left arm up. Stretch nice and tall. Exhale, twist to the left to lower your left hand behind you. Stretch the right arm up. Nice and tall. Exhale, just hug the left knee with the right arm to help you twist around here. Whenever we're twisting, what we're looking for is twisting through the chest. So wherever the sternum, your breastbone, is pointing, that's kind of what we're after. It doesn't matter what the hips are doing so much, or the shoulders, or the chin. We really want to get the twists through the thoracic spine to help open that up. Your thoracic spine is just the part of your backbone that connects to your rib cage. Inhale back through center. Exhale, bring the right hand behind you to twist around to the right. Good. Inhale through center. Lower the left hand behind you once more. Inhale the right arm up. Exhale, bend the right elbow 90 degrees and then press it on the inside of the left knee. Press the knee and the elbow into each other. So really feel your hip and inner thighs and the shoulder of the right arm, everything working as you breathe here, twisting gently around towards the left, but really focusing primarily on the knee and the elbow pressing into each other. And breathe through this effort. Make this challenge feel enjoyable. Good. One more inhale. As you exhale, come back through center. Extend the left leg straight. Use your hands to just help press your hips towards your heels. Bring your hands to your knees. Roll back onto your back. And give yourself a few little rolls around on your back. Maybe some little circles or side to side. Close your eyes and begin to notice once again how you feel in your body in this moment right here, right now. What feels good? What feels still maybe a little sticky? Are you feeling positive or are you feeling frustrated? It doesn't really matter because it's all just part of the experience. And that's what yoga is teaching us. It's just that we are here in this moment and we can make whatever we want out of it. Just by paying attention to our thoughts and our feelings. We're going to slowly lower the feet down and extend them to the edges of the mat. So shift yourself around wherever you want to be on your mat. So have your feet at the corners of the mat and allow your arms to rest down by your side with the palms facing up. Close your eyes and once again, just pay attention to the breath. Just notice how it feels as you breathe in and out. And some say that this pose, Shavasana, is the most challenging because it's where we really are able to just be with our thoughts. And sometimes our thoughts are uncomfortable. Sometimes our thoughts are something that we don't want to spend time with. And the temptation is to grab something that will distract us from our thoughts. But actually our thoughts are kind of like the clouds in the sky. And we can be like an airplane that, yeah, okay, we have to fly up through the clouds. We have to go through that moment of turbulence to get past the clouds, but then break through and go above those clouds to where it's just nothing but clear blue sky. All it takes is to sit with it. Just get through it. So I invite you to stay here in this restful position, this Shavasana, for as long as it feels good for you. But when you're ready, you can slowly bring yourself up to a seated position. And bring what I hope is a nice, peaceful disposition into the rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining.